Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to move through life on easy mode? They walk into a room and the energy shifts. They go to a networking event and leave with 3 new opportunities. They meet someone for the first time and within 10 minutes, it seems like the other person is already in love with them. It's not luck, it's charisma. And what most people don't realize is that charisma isn't just a social nice to have, it's an unfair advantage. In your career, in your relationships, in every room you walk into, people open doors for charismatic people that they keep closed for everyone else, not because of what's on paper, but because of how they make people feel. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 specific things that give you that unfair social advantage. 1. Spotlight effect. 2. First mover rule. 3. The curiosity advantage. And 4. Status gifts. Each of these 4 pillars is something you can start using immediately. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why some people seem to have life on easy mode and how to join them. Let's get into it. Pillar 1. The spotlight effect. Think about the last time someone made you feel truly seen in a conversation. Not just heard, actually seen. Like what you were saying genuinely mattered to them, like you had their full attention. How did that feel? And more importantly, how did you feel about that person afterward? That feeling of being the most important person in the room to someone is one of the most powerful feelings you can give others, and it's almost entirely made up of tiny, invisible signals that most people never think about. You're sitting at a table, your phone is right there, screen up. Every time it lights up, your eyes twitch toward it. You're half nodding like a robot while your brain is completely checked out, just practicing the next sentence you're going to say. That is not a conversation, that's an audition, and people can feel that cheap energy from a mile away. Here is what you do instead. You slide the phone completely out of sight. You turn your chest directly toward them. You lock in with relaxed, steady eye contact. And instead of standing there like a brick wall, you give small, sharp, genuine reactions. A slight smile, a real nod, a quiet, "Wait, really?" Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. You aren't just hearing words, you are actively tracking their story. And then, the one that separates the good listener from the great, you remember something. Later in the conversation, you reference something they mentioned 10 minutes ago, or next time you see them, you ask how that thing they were stressed about turned out. That move, using what someone told you to show them you were listening, hits differently than almost anything else you can do. In a world where most people can barely remember a conversation from yesterday, being genuinely remembered feels like a gift. This isn't hard to do, but it requires one thing. You actually have to be present, not performing presence, actually being present. And the moment you are, people feel it immediately. This is also one of the biggest advantages in a professional context. The colleague who makes their boss feel genuinely heard. The salesperson who actually listens to what the client needs. People give opportunities to people they feel good around, not always to the most qualified person in the room. Making people feel seen is powerful on its own, but combine it with what comes next and the effect multiplies. Pillar 2. The first mover rule. For most of my life, I was what I call a waiter. Not the guy bringing you your food, but the guy who waits. I walked into a room and quietly waited for someone to notice me. I stood in a circle of people desperately waiting for someone else to break the awkward silence. I wanted to say hello to someone across the room, but instead, I'd spend 10 minutes standing there, talking myself out of it. They'll come to me if they actually want to talk. And you want to know what happened while I was waiting? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because here is the brutal truth. Everyone else in that room was waiting too. Charismatic people don't wait, they move first. And that one decision, to be the one who initiates, completely changed how every room perceives me. Here's why it works. There's a quiet, invisible social pressure in every room, an unspoken awkwardness. The person who relieves that pressure, who walks up first, says their name first, cracks the first joke, immediately takes the most powerful position in the room. Not by being loud, just by being willing to go first. Instead of standing at the edge of a networking event for 20 minutes waiting for someone to approach you, you walk up to someone and say, "Hey, I'm Nicholas. How do you know the people here?" 2 sentences. Done. The conversation started and the pressure is gone for both of you. This extends beyond conversations. It's the person who makes the plan instead of saying, "We should do something sometime." The person who makes the decision instead of asking the group for the 14th time what everyone feels like eating. The person who sends the follow-up email instead of wondering if the other person will. That decisiveness is rare, and people are magnetically attracted to the ones who just handle things, who take the social weight off everyone else's shoulders and make something happen. The first mover rule isn't about being the most dominant person in the room, it's about being the most willing. And willingness, the courage to go first, is one of the most charismatic things a person can have. Pillar 3, the curiosity advantage. Here's something that most people never think about, but it's really powerful once you do. Every single person you meet knows something you don't, has been somewhere you haven't, has figured something out the hard way that you could learn in 5 minutes if you just asked. Most people walk past that. In conversations, they're too busy thinking about themselves, what they're going to say next, how they're coming across. Charismatic people do the opposite. They ask the things they actually want to know, and they listen to the answer, not while planning their next line, but because they're genuinely curious. If she mentions she just got back from Japan, you probably say, "Oh cool, how was it?" and nod through the answer. But instead, charismatic people ask, "What was the thing that surprised you most, that you didn't expect before you went?" Just like that, small talk turns into real talk. Now she's actually thinking. Now you're going to learn something you didn't know before, and she's going to remember you as someone genuinely interesting to talk to. Think about how it feels when someone asks for your opinion, your advice, your expertise on something. You can't wait to answer. You feel valued. You want to talk to them again. That's exactly what you create when you approach a conversation with real curiosity. You have the opportunity to make others feel this way in any conversation at any time. All you have to do is set yourself the goal to find out one thing that they know or have experienced that you don't. And if you want to be perceived as even more charismatic, you need to give the other person small gifts. But not the kind of gifts you think about. I'm talking about gifts that cost you zero money, but are invaluable to them. Pillar 4, status gifts. Think about the last time you received a genuinely good compliment, not a throwaway, "nice shirt," a real one, something specific. Something that showed the person actually paid attention. How long did that stay with you? Hours? The whole day? Maybe you even thought about it the next morning. Now, do you remember who gave you the compliment? Of course you do. You know exactly who said it and you appreciate them for it. You have the ability to give other people that exact feeling, anywhere, at any time. But most people just don't do it. Why? Because they're worried it'll come across as weird, or forced, or like they want something. But here's the real reason confident people give more compliments than insecure ones. Making someone else feel good doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't make you smaller. It doesn't give them power over you. It makes you charismatic. Unconfident people gossip. Confident people give genuine compliments. That's not a coincidence. It's a direct reflection of how secure someone is in themselves. Think about how many times you've been in a conversation and thought to yourself, "Wow, that was a really smart point," but then kept it to yourself because you didn't want to sound awkward. Most men do that every single day. But a truly magnetic man, he just says it. "That was actually a really smart point. I hadn't thought about it that way." That's it. One simple sentence. But the person you said it to will be thinking about it for the next 3 hours. However, there is a rule to giving compliments. Compliments have to be honest to work. A compliment that doesn't feel real simply doesn't land, so don't make them up. Just stop filtering out the genuine ones you already have. You notice positive things about people all the time that you never say. Start saying them. The person who makes others feel genuinely good about themselves without needing anything in return becomes the person everyone wants to be around. These 4 charisma pillars give you an unfair social advantage at work, in relationships, in every room you enter. And if you want to put them into real practice, we built a 7-day charisma challenge for exactly that. 7 days, 7 simple real-life missions, each one slightly harder than the last. It's the fastest way to go from knowing this to actually doing it. First link in the description. See you there.